Hello, everyone, and welcome to the CPA Lady podcast. My name is Marjorie McPike, and I am your host. I am a CPA in Southern California, beautiful Southern California. It's a little bit cold right now as we're recording this, but it's still warmer than it is in a lot of different places. So I have with me today Lana Williams. She is a personal finance coach. And I'll let you tell you more about, because she does a lot of different things and she has a broad background. So Lana, will you please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself, please?
Yeah, absolutely. So as Marjorie said, Lana Williams, I'm a financial coach. I'm based here in Atlanta, Georgia. So I wish I could join you in the sunny part, but we've been rather cold lately. But yeah, as a financial coach, I work with individuals to help them with the foundation of money management. So I always say I'm the person that gets you ready for the next level. And that next level is when you start investing, when you start buying investment property, maybe starting a business, which is, we're going to talk a lot about that today. And so really what that includes is with clients, we pay off debt, we build savings, we rein in spending and get some budgeting in place. A number of clients have specific goals and they don't know where to start or how to reach the goal when it comes to their finances. So they come with that one specific thing in mind and we work together on that. We talk a lot about generational wealth, which I know Marjorie talk about as well. And really overall, just affording the life that you want. So that's kind of how we do it, one-on-one.
One-on-one. And so your coaching is one-on-one, not so much a group?
Yes. Right now it's one-on-one, but 2021, the plan is to start some group coaching, maybe specifics like topics, like a savings group and then a debt payoff group, starting that way. Yeah.
Do you find that a lot of people don't have a good financial foundation?
Yes. I was trying to find a really soft way to say that. But yeah, I mean, if you look at just the statistics alone, one stat says 80% of America lives paycheck to paycheck, right? So that means literally, I can't do anything until I get paid, right? That tells you a lot. This year, 2020, I mean, we saw, how surprised were we with businesses that couldn't even last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, right? Before they start having a serious impact and laying off employees. So yeah, you look at some of the stats, I think one is 49% of people don't have $400 saved. So yes, I saw that in my corporate career and I definitely see it as a coach.
Awesome. That's good information, because the foundation is important. Do you think that's because of a lack of financial education in the home, or maybe people just don't care? Maybe they get so caught up in being like the Joneses, and so they just kind of go, just blow up credit cards and just do whatever, and not really sit down and get that foundation or been exposed to it. Because I know you grew up in a home. I remember seeing one of your videos, and I kind of know your background too, but one of your videos where you where you talked about how you grew up and how you were always exposed to being money conscious. Do you think that's because a lot of people weren't exposed to that?
I think it is, there's so many tentacles to that. That is definitely a big one. That's a huge one. And a part of what I study is financial psychology. So, if you have someone who grew up poor, or you have someone that grew up wealthy, never had to work for anything, they got everything that they wanted. someone that grew up in a home and they never saw their parents save, right? All of those things. And that's a laundry list of things just in itself. If you look at how someone grew up, I was telling someone the other day that I think I have yet to have a client that at some point in our coaching sessions don't start talking about how they grew up, right? And so we're talking, the majority of my clients are kind of mid 20s, 30s, 40s, but I definitely have, your 60, 61-year-olds. So it doesn't even, the age doesn't even matter, right? They still refer back to how they grew up. So that is huge. Marketing. I mean, there's a humongous marketing machine out here. Corporations know us better than we know ourselves. When you think about just, I'm looking at your coffee cup, right? And just thinking about, but that's a prime example, because that's one of the companies that you study. Starbucks spent millions of dollars just studying tabletops, right? Should they be rounded or should they be angular? The comfort level, the color of the paint. They don't put dollar signs on their menus, right? I mean, companies put a lot of money into studying our behavior. So there's that push. And then just the lack of education in general. A lot of people say they should teach this in schools, which yes, that's a life thing that you should know. So you have that. But the real bottom line is someone's making money, right? Someone is making money. And so the question is, who do you want that to be? You or them, right?
That's good.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how do we?
Absolutely.
And I have to tell you, this is a reusable Starbucks cup, and I just make that.
I didn't think it wasn't the Starbucks. I know there's a lot in the financial world. You hear that a lot, right? How the cup of coffee,
A cup of coffee.
Save money doing that. It wasn't that. It's the company itself, which is, I mean, you have to respect them. They're doing, you know what I mean? They're selling, a product that costs pennies for $6, $7, $8. So,
right.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have to be smart like that and study our market and know what it is that our I don't like to say people that what we need in order to succeed. So I like that you're doing your financial education. I think I told you that that's always been a passion and an interest of mine is educating people and helping people to be more financially conscious. And so my spin came because I am an accountant, I'm a CPA.
Right.
So educating people as far as how to maneuver with their accounting and their finance and how to manage their money in that way. So did you see a lot of that when you were working in the corporate world, and what type of advice or recommendations would you give to someone that's in business?
Yeah, so yes, I did see a lot of that, and with business, especially when you're starting out, there's a very fine line. Like when I worked with small businesses, some of the key things that we looked at was what is the owner's credit, right? What does their credit look like? How much in assets do they have? If something happened with the business, how much, available cash does our owners have? So so you have that, right? Because a bank, a lender, whomever, they want their money back. They're going to try to offset their risk as much as possible. And if it's your business, the philosophy is, you put yourself out there as much as we, the bank or the lender, are going to put ourselves out there. So
Right.
that's one avenue. But the bigger picture is, honestly, if you aren't managing your personal finances well, when you move into business, it can be very rocky, right? And it's the same concepts. You know, the spreadsheet may look differently. The line items may have a different title, right? Income or revenue. Okay. But it's really the same philosophy. And so you see that, and a good example is a client I had just at the end, just before before I left, right, corporate. He had a very established business. His family did, his father did, and then his father passed away. And so he wanted to branch out and open a new store, right? And immediately he started buying, you know, decorating, buying all new things, you know, the landscaping, putting all this money, and he hadn't earned a dollar at the new location. Um, and but then when you look at his personal finances, you know, I could look at it, look through his checking account and see the lifestyle that he lived, right?
Right.
So it's the same, that stuff carries over. It's the same thing. So having cash reserves, right? That's the same as having a savings account. Reinvesting into the business, right? Instead of pulling so much cash out, right? You want to reinvest and grow the business. Keeping debt at a minimum, right? That's the exact same thing as using credit cards. With new businesses, if you get a line of credit, you want to keep that at a low, right? And have a plan. And those are the exact same things that you see from a personal perspective that you see with businesses.
Okay. Excuse me. I like that you mentioned the debt, because a lot of I don't want to say a push, but you know, there's encouragement for businesses to establish business credit. You know, you know, for various reasons, but it's important, like you said, to make sure that you keep it within limits and that it's manageable, so that you're not just out there getting a bunch of credit under your business name. Right.
Yes. And, you know, you have to guarantee, I mean, only pretty large companies can get business debt in just the business name. And even at that, they're looking at inventory, they're looking at collateral, right? You're going to put your building up, your receivables, your inventory. But for the most part, as the owner of the business, you have to personally guarantee that loan. And what that means is if the business can't pay it, guess where they're coming?
They're coming. Right. Right.
Right.
And
Yeah,
that's going to be a sizable loan. It's not, I don't think that would apply for like a small credit card, but we're talking about, you know, a sizable amount of debt. Right.
Yeah, it really, any debt, again, up to a certain amount, there's a sheet within all those documents that you sign as the owner as personal guarantor.
Personal guarantor. That's good information.
Yeah.
Okay, good information. So what do you do as far as like generational wealth, or do you do anything with helping people set up like estate plans or trusts? Do you do anything of that nature?
Yeah, I don't personally, that doesn't fall under my umbrella. However, depending on the client, that can be a part of the coaching process. A lot of that, especially when you talk about clients of like a certain age who aren't even thinking that way, right? But a lot of that, and this is kind of going off a little bit, but I mention it because in all of my years, I have found that money rarely is just about money. right?
Mhm,
It's not
mhm.
just about the numbers and the dollars, that there's emotions, there's feelings, there's all of
Right.
this. And so when we talk about generational wealth, I hear a lot of people, especially in the Black community, really kind of have a negative tone when they say, well, my parents never taught me this, or my grandparents never did this, etc. And
Mhm.
what we have to remember is the circumstances of our parents is completely different than it
Right.
is now.
Mhm.
They were surviving. They
Right.
didn't have the opportunities that we had. So that focus is not going to be on your kids and their great grandkids at that point. That's our job to do that now.
Mhm.
So a part of the coaching, a part of what I do as a coach is it's not just black and white numbers. It's you're making a lifestyle change.
Mm. Okay.
You're making a mindset shift, right? You're looking at the things that you're buying. You're looking in your home and trying to figure out, why do I have all of these items that I never use that cost me so much money, right? And so within that, it's my kids
Mhm.
and preparing and say life insurance, something as simple as checking the beneficiaries on your accounts. When is the last time you've done that? When is the last time you've checked your retirement account and
Mhm.
your life insurance? And so you see where the foundation um, pieces, that's what I work on, and then that opens it up for the bigger moves.
Bigger
Yeah.
move. That makes sense.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then when they're spending less and saving more, then they have more that they can put away for the next generation. So it
It's
kind of, yeah. Okay. So it all goes hand
exactly.
in
Then
hand.
you get into, say that again.
It all goes kind of hand in hand. It's like a domino effect. It's like if I get you to think differently and to spend less, then you save more and you can invest and you can do your retirement. So it comes to the generational wealth in that way instead of just saying that it's just,
It's
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, yeah, exactly. It's, then you start looking at investment vehicles and that type of thing. But, even making sure that you have life insurance, you know what I mean? You have enough to bury
Right,
you.
right. Mm-hmm.
Like, don't leave that burden on your family.
The family.
If you're 20 something or 30 something, don't leave your parents and your siblings and whomever with that. But, it's minimum $10,000 now for a funeral. Don't do
Mm-hmm.
that.
Right, right.
You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
then understanding the products and services that you have. Do you need all of that? Can you trim it down? And we all know there's so many different products and services. It's overwhelming. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I know I was talking to someone and they were mentioning that life insurance is a good way to leave, like an inheritance to someone else because you can get a policy, a $500,000 policy. You don't just have to get enough to bury yourself,
Mhm.
but you can get a policy that's going to have a benefit that you can leave to the next generation.
Absolutely. It's a
Mhm.
fabulous way, especially if you don't have those assets in that net worth.
Mhm.
Yes, it's a fabulous way to do it. If you're married, if you have children, I mean, you have life insurance. Yeah.
Right, right. I agree with that. Okay, awesome. And I guess with retirement, it kind of plays the same way. It's the foundation and the changes that help you to be able to set aside more money for retirement.
Yes, yes, yes. So regarding retirement, some of the things that I look at is one, are you even participating? Are you doing
Are
anything?
you doing anything?
And then, just kind of understanding how it's invested.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Are we just randomly picking things because they, sound good? Do we understand what we have? Are we in the right investments for our age
Mm-hmm.
and income and our risk tolerance? Right? Can you sleep
Mm-hmm.
at night?
Right.
If, you know, you wake up like we did in March and everything fell, right? And so, or were you comfortable,
Mhm.
right? Were you confident in how you had your money invested? So, you know, that's that foundational stuff and that mindset shift and that education and awareness. And then it just grows from there. Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm. I like the education and awareness and the foundation, you know, because you can,
Mhm.
like they say, you can give a man a fish and he'll eat for a day, or you can teach a man a fish and he'll eat for life. You know, it's like you're giving people the basic tools that will affect multiple areas of their life and not just one area. Yes.
Yeah. And you know what happens, Marjorie? It's not just that person.
Mm-hmm.
It's talk about generational wealth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that knowledge and awareness, now your children have it. Now you're helping your friends and neighbors, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a community. It spreads. It opens up. Like that you are not going to find many people who hit certain financial milestones and are hush hush about it.
Right.
They are helping and educating and giving advice, or
Mm-hmm.
participating or doing something with other people.
Mm.
Right. That's how it works. Doesn't have to be, you know, I'm not talking about bragging, you know, that, none of that. I'm
Mm-hmm.
just saying the awareness,
Yeah.
right? You find that all the time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then people can kind of see you living differently, and they start asking, well, what did you do? Or how did you do
Right.
that? Right.
Right.
So and
Exactly.
it's awesome. Awesome. So I know you have some courses out there and some different products. What,
Mhm.
and I know, and you also have some new ones that are coming out in 2021. So what's on the horizon?
Yeah, yeah. So outside of the one-on-one coaching, I have my ebook that came out in August. It's a 21-day financial detox, is what I
Right.
call it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's a great little ebook. That's your first step. And
Mm-hmm.
so in that book, what I wanted to do was say, hey, you know what? Let's not talk about goals. No, let's not talk about this. Let's look at how we're living right now. Let's
Mm-hmm.
look at what we have right now. So how can we save money on food? You know, are you getting the maximum amount of interest on your savings?
Right.
Are you paying too much on your loans? Right. And so I just walked through 21 days, various steps, looking at your utilities, right? When's the last time you've actually audited your insurances?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Have you been with the same insurance company for 6 years, et cetera? All right. It's time to
25
get
years.
out there, get some new rates. Right. Exactly. Because we get comfortable, we get complete, we go through those memberships and subscriptions,
Oh yeah, I know.
right? Yes.
That's me. That's me. I know I need to go through
Right.
it.
Yes, we go through those memberships and subscriptions. And, you know, the big question is it's yes, it's how much do I spend, but really how often do you
Mm,
spend, right? How
interesting.
many times a day are
Oh,
you swiping that card,
oh, okay.
right? And
Uh-huh.
so you can see the awareness, even if it's $3 every time, right? You can see the awareness. Like, we're so easy to just plop, 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 plop,
Mhm,
plop.
mhm.
And, you know, the studies show that people spend 20% more when they pay with cards. Cards weren't designed for our convenience.
Right.
That's what we have to realize.
I
So I
believe
want to go on a soapbox.
it's okay. Go,
A
go. I
soapbox.
know.
Yeah, yeah. Just remember, anything regarding finance, marketing, sales, products, 9 times out of 10, it wasn't designed for us,
Yes,
right?
right.
The monthly payment was not designed for
That's
us,
for us.
right?
It's not. It's not.
Yes,
So that's why we have to be wise.
yes,
Yes, and pay attention.
yes,
Mhm,
yes.
mhm.
And pay attention. And so that's what the detox does is, yeah, just a guide. I walk you through 21 days of different things. And it's stuff that I do. I mean, you should do it every year, actually,
Mhm.
or every other year, right? Just
Mhm.
kind of look at your things and making sure that you're in the best position possible. So that's the one that I have out now. I have courses. I just did the investment for beginners course.
Mhm.
And I always say I don't talk over your head, but I literally go from the beginning, like what is the Dow Jones? What,
Okay.
all of those things that you see on the news, and they just,
Mhm. Mhm.
I take the time to just kind of start there all the way to, okay, here's how you invest. Now go do it. Right.
Nice.
Um, so that one, um, I think last week or the week before put out, but I have a savings course. I have a understanding credit course. I
Okay.
have a paying off credit cards, right? So some
Mhm.
different various strategies on doing that. I have a 5-week course that I'm kind of revamping a little bit, but it includes everything, all of that.
Mhm.
And it's self-paced, so that will be up. And then a loan application course, which is interesting. That was a popular one. So what I do is I make you the lender,
Mhm.
right? So you're actually the lender. So you have a scenario, and the thing is, would you give yourself a loan?
Oh, wow.
So I'm gonna put that one back up. So those are
Yeah.
the courses that I have. Yeah. Yeah, and then some more, another ebook. So we're looking at where we are now. And then the next ebook would be, okay, let's start our financial, let's set some goals and let's start
Mhm.
our plan. So kind of steps like that. And yeah, most of my time is one-on-one coaching with clients. So
Mhm.
which is the most rewarding work I've ever done. I love it so much. Yeah.
Nice. And what's your ideal client?
My ideal client is, they're all over the board, but the ideal client, I really kind of think about a younger me. Um, so I have a number of recent college grads. I have a group of recent law school grads. So they're sort of your mid 20s, early 30s.
Mhm.
Um, and they have that first job, that second job, and I get in there and get them trained right.
Nice.
So all of those, kind of college mistakes with the credit cards, the new car, all of that,
Mhm.
we
Mhm.
we fixed that. But as when you talk about saving and investing, you want to do that as early as possible.
Right.
So yeah, so I always say people that are starting to make those big moves in life, buying a home, starting a business,
Mhm.
that's really my ideal client. Um, but again, I'm not, if it's a good fit, because it's a relationship.
Mhm.
So I do complimentary consultation. And if it's, I've turned people away, but I don't just turn you away. I will give you something to help you, right? Or if I
Mhm.
see something down the road, I will help you. But yeah, if it's not a good relationship, um, you want people to be successful.
Mhm.
So it's like, okay, let me help you with this. And I think when you get that under your belt, you'll be ready. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
So do you find that people, well, I guess if someone comes to you, they're wanting your services. So you're not having to go out there and like um, convince someone to do what it is that you're telling them to do. Do you still find people are a little bit hesitant?
Not at all. No, not at all. And I'm now getting referrals from old clients, from
Mhm.
previous clients. So it's like they've done all the work. They show up and which is great, but no, not at all. It's a very mental thing. You really have to be ready. And um, it's, again, it's it's just really just an awareness, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? But a lot of people come in, they're like, I'm just tired.
Mhm.
You have people, I'm embarrassed. I don't know where my money goes. I'm ashamed. A lot of my clients have high incomes, but they spend a lot,
Right.
right? And so they're tired of being in that position. And they want to do things differently, or they have goals now that I want to achieve. And so I've had that. I've had people with great opportunities, but because they were not financially strong, couldn't take advantage of the opportunities. Yeah. Existing business owners who had opportunities, but because, their finances weren't intact, they couldn't be in place to
Oh,
take
wow.
advantage of the opportunity. Yeah.
So that's kind of goes along with like having having your personal books in order and having your business books in order. Because I always try to tell
Yes.
people, you should have your books in order so that if you need to produce a financial statement, you can do that, from a business
Absolutely.
perspective. So it's the same thing, being able to produce.
Yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. And, one thing um, that I love with working with clients, because I've been in the industry for so long
Mm-hmm.
and in so many roles, I kind of know, a lot or a little about every subject. So I've worked with small businesses, even though I work with individuals. I've done mortgages. I understand car loans. Insurance. I used to sell, life insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Part of investing. I've been an investment advisor. We may be focusing on one area, but I can get you to a really good point with
Mm-hmm.
other
With
areas. You
other
know what I'm
areas.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I like that. Why did you decide to go out on your own? What
That's a good question. Go ahead.
like what made this switch? Because you worked a lot with, in you had a pretty successful job, right?
Yeah.
Prestigious job, and then you walked away from it. So what happened? What made you decide to go on your own?
Yeah. It was, so the underlying reason is, um, um, I started in banking right out of college,
Mm-hmm.
right? So got the job in college, showed up 2 weeks later.
Wow.
Um, and I remember being excited. I wasn't looking for a bank. That's who gave me a job, right?
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
interviewed and that's who gave you a job. And I
Mm-hmm.
remember being so excited that I was going to be able to help people with their finances. And I was going to learn a lot and help people with their finances. And you get in and it's okay, you have to sell so many credit cards per month. You have to do so many home equity loans per month. You have to, have so many checking accounts per month.
Mm-hmm.
And so it wasn't about the customer. It
Right.
was, oh my goodness, I have to hit these goals. And so I just kept finding that with every job. And so that's why I went into consulting and went into, mergers and acquisitions, because I wasn't fulfilled in that way.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in investments, especially in investments. So that was the underlying reason. That's always a little rub, right? Just a little rub, but you're like, I'm doing well in my career. I'm going to keep going, keep going, keep
Mm-hmm.
going. And then it just got just really like too sales heavy, not rewarding, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what that rub is. That rub is the rewarding part. And
Right.
that just continued to just disappear. And I just said, you know what? I didn't know what I was going to do. I just knew that was no longer it.
Mm.
And so the coaching thing, I kind of stumbled that I thought I was just going to do courses or I was going to just help people budget. Um, and then I just realized that, and working with people for so many years, that it really wasn't the money, but it took me leaving for that to sink in
Mm-hmm.
and go, people just, there's a education and awareness. There is all these products and services. To get a loan, you have to sign War and Peace. Why are there so many documents to get a
Right.
loan?
Right.
Um, yeah. And so that's how I kind of, fell into the coaching piece.
Awesome. And you've been doing it for how many years now?
This is my third. So January, I start my fourth year. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm
This was my best year in a pandemic, believe it or not. Yeah.
really, because a lot of people are at home and they're slowing down and they're doing other things besides ripping and running and spending.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And I think what do I want to do with my life
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
thing here? You
Mm-hmm.
know, you can only online shop
Right.
so many times
Yeah.
and be fulfilled. I want a little more.
Yeah. I tell people shopping's not the same for me because I used to go to the store just to, it was more just relaxing, just to walk through the
Mhm,
store and see what they had, you know, and now
mhm.
it's like you have to be so aware of your spacing and wear a mask. And it's like, it's okay. I don't want to go.
Yeah. Good. Yay. Yay. But they're smart. Like I'm on my business computer, but I was on my personal computer, and this little banner from Amazon came across my screen.
Mhm.
And I'm like, do you see the marketing? It was a banner that's like, you know, we're going to announce sales and discounts, and
Oh,
just like
wow.
at the bottom of my screen, it just kind of
Mhm.
darted out, and I'm going, let me turn that off. But you know, that's my point with the marketing machine that's out
Mhm.
there. I mean, look how convenient and easy. Now they're invading your space. You don't even have to be on the site or on the app,
Right,
right?
right,
They're
right.
coming to get you.
Mhm.
Coming to get you. Don't do it.
And don't look at something because then you'll go back to something else and it's all over your computer, you
It's
know?
right. Exactly.
Like you were looking at
Exactly.
this
They're coming to get you.
part.
Yes. Yes,
Very cool.
absolutely.
Awesome, awesome. So is there anything that I didn't ask or we didn't cover that you wanted to share with our listeners?
Um, what, I want to share with our listeners, to, if you're not, even if you are, to make saving and investing and multiple sources of income, make that a priority, right? If you don't know where to start, pick a dollar amount and save it per paycheck, right?
Mhm.
$5, $10, $100. If you're younger, do that from every single paycheck. Like if you think about if I had saved $100 from every single paycheck,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm. Mhm.
How much I would have
You
now.
would have
You
right
know
now.
what I'm saying?
Yes. Mhm.
Yes. And think about what's important to you,
Mhm.
and really, pay attention to that spending, because like I said, you're making a lot of people rich.
Yes. Mhm. Yes. That's very true. And the multiple sources of income. Any recommendations
Yes.
for that?
Oh man, that's so I want to do the canned answer and say something that you love, something that
Look, it brings you joy.
something you
You're
enjoy,
passionate about.
monetize it. But pay attention to a need. Like I said, I'm a bottle this or whatever, but I was on with a client earlier,
Mhm.
and she was talking about the holidays, and her son having to help her mother with her iPad, right?
Mhm.
And I was like, wow, he should just like do courses helping seniors with their,
Mhm.
you know what I mean,
Mhm.
or just go around the
All in
neighborhood
the
and
neighborhood. Mhm.
yeah, and help seniors with their electronics,
Mhm. Mhm.
um, um, so there's a lot out there, there's, everyone is gravitating to, not everyone, but, real estate is a a big thing, but that's, everyone's not built for that. Everyone's
Right.
not built to be a landlord. And,
Mm-hmm.
but so like, just pay, this is the same with investing. What do I invest in? Well, what do you use every day?
Right. Mm-hmm.
What do you like?
What do you like?
Right.
Right.
That's,
Right.
yeah. What do you like? Invest in it, because if you like it, there are millions of other people
Then they're gonna like
that
it.
like it too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, just kind of pay attention. That, like in my investment course, part of it is I teach you how to think like an investor.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Not a
Mm-hmm.
consumer.
Mm-hmm.
Think like an
Think
investor.
like an investor.
We talk about, yeah, yeah. And so the same with the business is like, just start paying attention, start listening, start,
Mm-hmm.
what are people saying I need help with, or how do I do this, or,
Mm-hmm.
and then pay attention to who's not doing it well.
Right.
When's the last time you've hired someone and they've done a really good job? Are they shown up on time? Right? Or they didn't try to overcharge you 3 times. So if, that's opportunity there,
Right.
because good word spreads. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. 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 Interesting. I know. I like the start saving. Save something every paycheck. And I know I've told people before, it's like, okay, so you're coming out of college and you're starting a job. It's like you're used to not having any money. So still live like that. Make sure you set up your retirement, make sure you set up your savings, because anything that you get is more than what you had before, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
And it's
Yes,
easy
yes, yes.
to
Yeah.
put it aside when you don't think about it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Exactly. Because when you go big, it's hard to go back. You know, we used to call it, when I traveled, going behind the curtain. You travel so much with work, you sit in first class. And then when you
Mm-hmm.
have to pay for it yourself,
Yeah.
you go behind the curtain.
Yeah.
Right? It's hard to go behind the curtain. So, so don't jump out there. You
Don't
know what
jump
I'm saying?
out there.
Don't jump out there, because you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna, it's the same when you get a raise. Here's another tip: when you get a
Mm-hmm.
raise, you're already used to living on a certain income, so save that difference,
Save that
right?
difference. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know
Hmm.
I would do that. I would just kick up my 401k, whatever the percentage was. It's like I would just increase my 401k, increase my 401k.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. 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 Hmm.
So even considering doing that with my new venture. So yeah.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
can
Yes.
set
Which
up the
I'm terribly
401k and
excited about.
huh?
I said, which I'm terribly excited about.
It's gonna be good. Yeah. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
It is.
Uh-huh.
Yes, it is.
It's
Yeah.
the jitters, the
Hmm.
initial, kind of walking through it, but it's okay. You just keep taking it a day at a time, and you'll look up and be like, wow, I really did that. And, you know, so
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm
Yeah.
excited.
It's that, you don't have to set goals for, well, I'll watch how I say this. You should, but you don't have to focus on your 5-year goal or whatever. You know what I mean? Just 5 weeks.
Right.
So have a 5 week, have a 5-day goal.
That's-
Let's start there and get
that's-
another 5 days. Yeah,
because you don't want to become overwhelmed, right? Mm-hmm.
correct. Yeah, that's the killer.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. You want to be consistent. Yeah,
Consistent, yes, consistent in all things.
consistent.
That was my word for 2020, was consistency. Yeah,
Hmm.
so I think that's
Hmm.
important. So consistent with your finances. I like the foundation. I keep going back to that because I like that it's foundational. And once you get that it affects everything else, you know? So it
Yes,
helps you with
yes,
the generational wealth. It helps you with the savings. It helps you with the investing, because that's what we need to work on, is the foundation. Hmm.
yes. It's the same. You can't grow in one area without growing all around,
All around.
right?
Hmm.
You you have to grow, period.
Hmm.
So yeah, yeah, and it's not hard. It's different. It's you know, can be scary, but that's, you know, that's when you work with someone, you work with a coach, we walk right through it. You know, I call you out. What is this I see on your budget? That's not what we talked about. Yeah, but I have yet to have anyone say you know, that I actually had a potential client say this, that she has yet to say to herself, darn, I saved money.
Right.
I mean, I regret doing that. I have yet to have anyone to say, I regret the work we've done,
Right.
you know?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then the thing about saving money is that once you save, it's like you don't want to spend it, right?
Isn't that the truth? Right? You're like, let me figure this out. People don't get that. You know, it's like I just had that. You have the money. It's like, yeah, no. That's why I do.
Oh, yeah. Do I need that? I can wait.
Mm-hmm.
So the 21 Detox book, we can find that on your website?
Yes. So everything is L. William Finance without the S. I did that on purpose. So lwilliamfinance.com. Yes. And if you click on financial coaching, you'll see the ebook there. You'll see the on the menu, you'll see the courses.
Okay.
Yeah.
Will you be doing something for the new year? Like, I know you have your financially conscious Facebook group.
Yes.
And you've done different things in there. Will you be doing something like that for 2021?
In the group?
Mm-hmm. Kind of like a kickoff?
I'm planning a savings, and I'm actually thinking, because you know how I like to be creative, hopefully not too creative, but I was thinking the 12 days of savings, or do we want to do it the whole month? But I really want to make it a little more, make it educational as well. So I was thinking of but yes, to answer your question, I'm going to do a savings campaign.
Okay.
In the group. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. And is there a link to your group on your website?
Yes. Actually, on the courses page, there's a link, but it's the Financially Conscious Living Facebook group.
Okay. Awesome.
And I'm on Instagram, L. William Finance, Facebook, L. William Finance. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. So follow L. William Finance. Yes. So one last question I'm going to ask you, just because I did ask the other one, but one tip that you would give to our listeners to start off 2020. So just, I'm thinking like, just track your expenses, just write it down for a month, become aware, and then go from there.
Yeah. A tip I would give is pull out your last month, 2 month statements and look at your spending and highlight, was this a need or a want?
That one.
A need, I feel obligated to clarify this, okay? Needs are what? Food, shelter, clothing, transportation, healthcare, right? Your basic needs. But we all know that there are ranges within that.
So eating out every day is not a need, right?
It's not a need. Say that again for the people in the back.
Okay. Eating out every day
right?
is not a need. Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, it doesn't behoove you to play games with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it may be hard to swallow, but, um, people easily spend $800 a month on eating out, and they're buying groceries.
This is true. You're
Mm-hmm.
correct because
Mm-hmm.
I had a friend tell me
Mm-hmm.
the other day, she's like, you go out to eat a lot. And I do, but a lot of times it's because it's
Mm-hmm.
just me. And there are
Mm-hmm.
times when I go to the kids menu and spend $5, but then there are times when I do the $10, you know? So you
Mm-hmm.
figure 10 times 5, that's $50 a week. That's $200 a month, you know? And we all
Mm-hmm.
know that you can make a salad for probably $3 compared to $10 that you purchase it for.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Yeah. Iceberg lettuce costs how much
Mm-hmm.
in the grocery store? Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Clothing, look at all those purses you have, right? I did that post recently. Like, look at all the books you're not reading that are around your house, all the purses that you have, all the kitchen appliances that you don't use. I mean, I can go on and on and on. And yeah. You're like, stop, just stop. It's enough. Do you see how emotional it gets? This is real. This is real.
It is. It is. But I was
Yes. Needs and wants.
needs and wants. Okay. So outline your needs and
Needs and
wants
wants.
and then kind of look at that and
Mhm.
get some perspective. Right.
Yes, because that's going to broaden your awareness. That's why I picked that one.
And it's
Add
always,
it up. Yeah, that's going to broaden, that's going to make you aware of your habits.
mm-hmm.
You can make decisions just from that exercise alone. And then you don't have to cut things out, right? You don't have to go cold turkey, but you can put limits. I'm going to spend $100
Mm-hmm.
on this, or you know what? I've been paying for this every month for a year and I never use it.
Mm-hmm. So then you
Mhm.
just connected. Okay.
Mhm.
That's awesome. Well, Lana, thank you so much for all of your information, your knowledge. Oh my goodness, I've learned a lot. I hope that everyone else has learned a lot, bringing about awareness. You can find Lana on Instagram, Facebook, L. William Finance. Her website is lwilliamfinance.com. Reach out, send her a direct message. She's happy to answer any questions. And thank you again.
Oh, thank you for having me.
All righty, we're signing off. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.